Okay, so those were some examples of if we have more than one term on each side of the equation. But it turns out that when we only have one term on each side of the equation, it makes our lives a lot easier because all we have to do is cross multiply. Let's look at a good old example. So we're given 3 over x squared plus 4x is equal to 1 over x plus 4. Now, since we only have one fraction on both sides of the equation, this is kind of like if we had, let's say, 1/2 is equal to x over 4. Well, if you recall, all we would have to do is cross multiply. So we'd take 2 times x, and we'd have 2x, and then we'd have 1 times 4, and we'd have 4, and then we'd just solve for x. Easy. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but we have a little bit more complicated of fractions. So we'll cross multiply. We'll take x squared plus 4x, we'll multiply by 1. And anything times 1 is just that thing. So we have x squared plus 4x. And then we'll take 3 and we'll multiply by x plus 4. So on the right side we have 3 times x plus 4. Now I'll go ahead and distribute this 3 on the right side of the equation. So we have 3x plus 12. Hey, my cat is going crazy right now. Anyway, so we distributed that 3, and we got 3x plus 12. And on the left we have x squared plus 4x. And now, since we have an x squared term, this tells me that we have a quadratic. And we're going to want to either factor or use quadratic formula or AC method or something. So I'm going to move all of our terms to the one side and keep 0 on the other. So I'm going to move 3x and 12 to the other side. So our 3x's cancel on the right, our 12's cancel on the right, and we're left with x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12 is 0. And then I'll just combine these middle terms. We have x squared plus x minus 12 is 0. Awesome. And so now all we have to do is figure out two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add to 1. Since remember, there technically is a 1 in front of this x. And those would be x plus 4 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. And then we'll just set both of those equal to 0. So we have x plus 4 is equal to 0. And x minus 3 is equal to 0. And then we can solve for x for both of those. So we have x is equal to negative 4, x is equal to 3, and then we'll box these. Just kidding. We're not going to box them up yet. We still have to check our answers just in case something went crazy. So we'll plug negative 4 back into our equation. So if we do that, we have 3 over negative 4 squared plus 4 times negative 4. So we have 4 squared, which would be 16. So we have 3 over 16. And then 4 times negative 4 would be minus 16. So we get 3 over 0. That's horrible. That's undefined. So that tells us that x equals 4 is an extraneous solution. And we'll just cross that out. We're not dealing with him. Not doing it. Let's check out x equals 3. Well, if we plug in x equals 3, we'll have 3 over 3 squared plus 4 times 3 is equal to 1 over 3 plus 4. So anywhere there is an x in our original equation, I plug in 3, which would give us 3 over 9 plus 12 is equal to 1 over 12, which would give us 3 over 21 is equal to 1 over 12. And that's totally fine. These two things are equivalent. So 3 is good.